To battle, packmates! And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus One. I am Rear Admiral Tirak of the Dreadnought Scimitar as we continue our campaign against the Hydran Star Kingdom. And last time, well, we've been basically beating the crap out of the Hydrans left, right, and center, sieging the home world of 1,11. It has an Empire Defense of 48 that we're steadily bashing down. We also have 4,965 prestige, which means we do have enough to buy an XCA, which is kind of what I would like to get at some point relatively soon. Or, you know, we could save up for a BBX. Not that it would really do a whole heck of a lot for us, but hey, it's there. So we're just going to do a quick check on through. There ain't any at the shipyard, so let's set out into space and continue to cause some havoc on the Hydrans. And popping back into the sector to see what sort of defenses they will send our way. Are we going to get intercepted by a random patrol, or are we actually going to be able to assault the actual planet? No, we are being intercepted by a single patrol. With any luck, it'll be a one-on-one battle against something that is woefully equipped to deal with us. So, battle stations and increased speed to our cruising speed of 9. And we are currently being escorted today by the Free Spirit, some pirate raiders that we currently hired for our current operation. They will be escorting us on this mission. They have 4 missile Cs. That's actually a lot of missile Cs. And an R-type plasma torpedo. Wow. So this is the sustain and this is the damage. That's going to be an interesting amount of firepower depending on how the AI uses it. He only has 4 phaser X's and 4 phaser 3s. So he skips a little bit on normal armament, but as long as those C-racks have ammunition, he's pumping out 2 missiles per rack per turn, which means he's got 8 missiles per turn. That's a lot of weaponry that he can flush out. Enemy heavy cruiser on the horizon. It is an that's us, STLX. A CHYX, no idea what kind of class that is, but it is some form of heavy cruiser to be sure. Let's make sure we're actually rigged to combat him. We're going to quickly flicker on and off the battery to make sure that it's not being drained by any sort of glitch. Kick on the forward shields to a maximum level. Not the tractor beams, I don't care about that. But we are going to set our electronic countermeasures to the maximum value. Full on 6. If he wants to fight us with it, he's going to have to put 6 points energy into his electronic countermeasure. And that'll be a lot of power that he doesn't have. And us being a much larger vessel, it's much easier for us to put a lot of energy into that kind of thing. I think our buddy just shut off his engine doubling. Yeah, he's slowing down now. Don't know why you would turn it on that early, man. You really should wait until you're actually engaged so you can use full power. So it does look like he's all on his lonesome. We're going to send a probe out his way, try and figure out exactly what he's currently packing. I'm anticipating maybe like 4 Hellbores and 2 fusion cannons, or maybe the inverse of that. If we're lucky, it's the inverse of that, because the AI doesn't really know how to use them. No, it's even lighter. This is like a very small heavy cruiser. It's only 2 Hellbores and 2 fusion cannons. I assume you're going to have a fighter complement, but there it is. 3 fighters only? No, 6 fighters. There they go, spreading off from each other. Let's make sure that we set up our expanding sphere generator out to a range of 2 so we can deal with the fighters themselves. You are going to get everything we can fire at you from the Mauler. It's going to be hilarious and funny. I could try and go for the full kill, but I don't think we'll be able to pull that off, so I'm not going to bother. Just going to crunch him down a little bit. So we do need to get within, well, half damage range, which is about 5. Wait for it. Oh, he is turning away, and that's 120. And 3s, kick him out. Target you. Disruptors. Oh, you're going to get their shot off, aren't they? Oh, they did, but we also then fried them immediately and then slammed him for a little bit of damage. So our forward port shield is a little bit dented, not down. Probably should have turned that on just a little bit earlier. It looks like the Free Spirit was also a carrier, which is nice. And yeah, you're down to speed of 7.5, so the Mauler hit really kind of did a number on you. Let's kill power from the expanding, or not from the expanding sphere generator, but kill it from the shield reinforcement. Slow way down. Phaser capacitor is almost fully charged, so we should be able to nail him pretty severely. Also, disruptors about to be ready. Let's put some disruptor power into him. Oh, I was hoping to knock out both shields, but no, he turned in time. No energy yet for the Mauler. We're going to nail into him just a little bit, and he's gone. Fighters coming in to steal the show, finishing him off. Not quite sure what they're thinking, just sending heavy cruisers against what is essentially a dreadnought. Can I call myself a battleship? No. No, the Mauler is a very powerful and interesting weapon, but it does not put us on battleship territory. 140 prestige is our reward, and just 44 is left on the tile. Another patrol. So we're just going around stomping down any of their ships that are currently trying to hold any sort of ground in their space. Being escorted by the DNH Blood Spiller, so a heavy dreadnought along with us. So this is much more what it should be. Should be about 1 Mauler and 2 dreadnoughts. Or at least maybe the other way around. Depends on how much you want to prioritize keeping that Mauler alive. If you view it as a essential siege weapon, then I suppose you'd have 2 dreadnoughts to the Mauler, or at least 2 heavy cruisers. And we will be getting XCAs at some point, I imagine. Although we are in range now, we could just flat out buy... I think we can flat out buy another STL. So, and if we did that, we would have 2 Maulers for 240 damage when at the proper range. Alright, enemy is an XCA. Ooh, a full-on X-type heavy cruiser. And he is rocking the triple nacelle design. Very Hydron, a very tri-symmetry. Send a probe. Let's find out exactly what we're about to get involved with, because this is going to be rough. So we're going to make sure that we kick on the electronic countermeasure to maximum power. Give the forward shield a nice little buff, because incoming firepower is about to happen. And we're going to line them up nice and ready. To also increase our speed so we can get towards him. Look at these shields. He's got better shields than me. Oh, Dreadnought. He has better shields than me. Alrighty, so we are looking at 2 heavy phaser A's, an additional 2 G2 phaser types, which are basically phaser 1s, except G-type phaser style, so 4 shots per hardpoint. It's kind of scary. Additionally, they have 6, 7, 8 phaser X's, 2 Gatling phasers for close and point defense, and 3 Hellbores and 2 fusions. So the Hydrons realizing that the long-range weaponry is probably a little bit better for them. It'll work out much nicer. I don't know what kind of fighter complement we're looking at here, though. I think we're going to play this one a little bit cagey. Let's make sure that the shields, or the phasers, are on overload so we can deal the maximum damage. He has deployed a fighter complement. What are we looking at here? 6 fighters? Yup. And he's opened fire on us. Managed to nail us with pretty much every single shot. He's meeting us on our defense shift. He's gone full counter to us. Holy crap. Let's make sure we set up our expenditure generator for this kind of engagement. Get ready with the Mauler. We're going to slam them for as much damage as we can. So Mauler and Disruptors is the plan. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Now. So, cutting him open. Kick on the ESG right now. Turn off to the side. We do want... Oh, now I got to go forward towards him. Phasers, engaged. There we go. Okay, so his fighters are gone. And we got a pretty good hit on that XCA. Shield's barely holding. He is still cruising, and he's just cut through our shields. Holy crap. So he has not taken any of that lying down. We do need a little bit of engine repair for the labs, but I'm not going to bother with it. If we can get away with having not used that during the fight, that would be excellent. Since we're facing away from him, I'm going to cut any power to the forward shields that we're spending in reinforcement. But now that he's pulled away, he doesn't have any fighters, we can actually just spend some time to reset things a little bit. He's probably going to try and keep away from our forward arc, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. So, because if we can get him in forward arc, we can nail him with the ESG, or the Mauler, and that he did not like. I mean, that forward shield strike was pretty bad to him. Come on, Disruptors, please. There we go. Cutting some Disruptor fire on through. Not too accurate, although we are back up to our defensive 2, so most of his fire is not particularly useful at this point. I am on the right spot to be able to use my Phaser X's, but I kind of don't want to get too close to him for obvious reasons. Can I keep pulling away from you a little bit? Let's drop a mine. You don't have any forward shields, so yeah, you definitely respect that mine. You're afraid of it. But now I'm in a perfect range to engage with my rather anemic broadside. And a high-energy turn. Good moves. That was actually pretty smart of him. ESG. Set to max and burn him. Oh, cutting right through our shields. Cutting through our shields thanks to the Hellbore being able to just skip around trying to fight us. Alright, kick on the ESG. All the weapons. Open them up a little bit. There we go. So just enough damage was dealt thanks to our ESGs, cutting him in half as the bubble formed. As things should be. We did take a little bit more damage than we're normally used to, which, you know, it's an XCA. Of course that happened. Pop on back. Hello, we're back home. And we actually are going to get a little bit of supplies on this one. Assuming it takes us, you know, a little less time to actually get home. The distance apparently between here and the Hydron homeworld is obscene. 3 spare parts and an additional mine that we spent. Fighters are fine. Let's go quickly to the shipyard. We're looking for an XCA. If you got one, we want it. Or, you know, an STL. No, we're seeing frigates, STT, single-tooth tiger, which I believe is the heavy cruiser version of what we've got. Yeah. So, a saber-tooth tiger, not a single-tooth tiger. Yeah, I have no interest in trying to erect space stations in enemy territory. You can't do that anyway, but... not enough for a normal dreadnought, but we're starting to get into that range. Let's keep setting out, cause... Oh, no. The diplomatic delivery has come up. They want us to stop what we're doing and pay attention. Sadly. Ambassadorial work on a ship that is basically a giant gun. Do they think that we have ambassadorial suites on here? Because I can tell you, we don't. There's just not enough room with all the extra equipment around here. Make sure we flick around the battery because we don't want to accidentally spend it. Single enemy light cruiser off in the distance. What are you, sir? You are a TR+. So I don't imagine that's going to be all that difficult to knock out. In fact, we might even be able to do it in basically one shot. I'm going to try it. Because I think we can. Even if he's got fighters, we might actually be able to kill him in one go. We're going to give it a shot. There's really no reason not to. We're on a home tile anyway. It's not like we can get caught in transit on our way back. So we may as well cause some damage. Alright, are we fully charged on things? Yeah, we got power. Power to spare. So let's go set up the priority for the electronic countermeasure. Full power. Get him to decide that he doesn't want to do that because he wants to compete with us in power when it comes to electronic warfare, and maximize the forward shield. So we have a little bit of extra defense going on in here. And increase the speed of time. Yep, I think he's all on his lonesome. It's just going to be us and him and, well, a lot of firepower. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. We are, of course, escorted today by the Ace of Spades. Once again, pirates that we hired. He's actually a pretty decent, interesting phaser boat. I was about to call him decent, but pure phaser-only armament sounds good to a point, and then you realize there's some pretty serious problems with it. He does not have a fighter complement. That's an interesting oversight. I need more speed. Because I need to make sure that I can catch him before he tries to turn away from me. And fire this. Hi. I didn't even need the ESG. That worked. Alright, show me the planet. We can shut that off. Now we're just surrounded by a ring of death. Fully capable and able to completely wipe out everything that you have. Shut that off. I no longer require the services of electronic countermeasures. We have one. As we cruise on in. It's a fairly dark planet. I imagine there's a lot of slate gray when we actually get to the ground. Because all planets obviously look the same once you actually get to the ground, if Star Trek has taught us anything. Slow down nice and gently so we don't smash into a planet. That would be embarrassing. So prepare to use the transporters. Also prepare to use the crash stop. We're actually getting pretty close. At a fairly high rate of speed. And this ship... Actually, that's an interesting question. I wonder if this ship or our old ship, the one that had the pseudo-frigate bay in the bottom, I wonder if this one or that one is the more, how do I describe this, sluggish at the helm. Oh, we're going to have to remember to slow down the speed of time just as soon as the game comes back. So we got into a nice little orbit, delivering our diplomats who will no doubt snarl angrily at the people on the planet to tell them to behave. Hi, shipyard. Again, I'm just double checking really quick. Don't think you've got anything for me? No. Alright, let's go. Let's continue the invasions. Shipyard assault. There is no choice this time. We have been trying to avoid it and dance around it, but unfortunately, it has come up as the only mission option, so we must go. And go we shall. Slow down the speed of time. Need to quickly remind ourselves of that, and flicker the battery. Just to make sure that we're not doing anything. Today, we are being escorted by the Relentless, which is a Klingon vessel, rather interesting, an ADW, an Advanced War Destroyer, I believe. And he is equipped with quite a bit of equipment, a lot of drone weapons too. Oh, okay, so he's got 4 extended B-racks, then he's backing that up with 6, 7, 8, yeah, 8 Phaser X's, which is not a small amount of Phaser X's. Then he's got a massive amount of anti-missile defenses, which is awesome for fighting the Hydrons, and a couple of Phaser 3s, just for a little bit of pinpoint backup. Squaring off against an LBX, a cluster weapon, as well as a freighter. Okay, the freighter could be, you know, a carrier. No, it's just FFT. Well, T could be tender, but they use fighters, so I wouldn't bet on it. Let's get that forward shield to a maximum reinforce value, and also at the same time, kick on the ECM to full power. Give a little priority to that ECM. I want to make sure it's actually useful, or at least being used. So, are you going to actually end up being anything, or are you just going to be, well, what you appear to be, a freighter? Or are you going to be like, you know, a Lyran freighter? Alright, Stardocks in sight at long range. FRD, Gorn. Oh no. They're Gorn Stardocks. That means they have plasma torpedoes, which makes them reasonably deadly. You don't have fighters, but you do. How many fighters are we looking at here? Looks like 3 at this time, so that seems fine. Do I fire the Mauler? No. No, we don't fire the Mauler. We select the phasers, set them to overload, select the disruptors as well. And I think I'm going to try and just blitz them in one pass. Get super close, deal as much damage as we can, disruptors and phasers only, at a point-blank range shot. That's what I was hoping for. That was exactly what I was hoping for. 3-2, because we're ready to take out his fighters. I hope the phasers are fully recharged by then, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I do, however, need to start turning towards him so that I can actually get my really big Mauler cannon on target. Oh wow, I didn't even need to do that. He's just going to kill them all, isn't he? Hi, well I've got a big bubble of nasty heading your way. Let's increase the speed a little bit. Oh, please show me that forward shield. If I can hit it with the Mauler, that'd be perfect. 158 damage right on top, and then the follow-up. He's having a bad day. He has no fighter complement. He hasn't weakened my forward shield, which is the only shield I frankly really care about. And I think if he can't shoot these down and track these, this will probably do him in. He is not in a good place right now. Yeah, that did him in. Already set course for the Stardocks at this point, because we are done. Well, aside from the annoying siege of things with plasma torpedoes. That'll be interesting. Slow down a bit and increase the speed time. Just so that we can get a charge rate going that is decent enough on the Mauler. We do, of course, need it to cause massive amounts of damage. We have 25 power in excess. So that should charge the Mauler up in just a couple of turns. Goes to a maximum of 60, which doubles to 120 damage when we actually shoot it, if we shoot within close enough range. We could sit at a longer range and just blink away, but unlike planets, Stardocks can turn, which is a bit annoying. Because it means they will always turn to present their most powerful shield, which makes them more difficult and difficult to kill. Yeah, we get that. But I would prefer not having to worry about things. Forward shield, back to a full reinforce point. And give me power. We're going to launch on in here. Come over here, shut point defense off, please. I want every point of power into the forward shield for this kind of defense. I don't actually want to deal with anything else. Capacitor down to minimum range. And what do I want to look at? The Mauler maybe? Alright, he's opening fire. No, I want to see power so I can drop in speed. So I can do this. Nice. Slow me down just slightly. I want 20 points of power in the forward shield. Because you do have a really, really big weapon. Come on, fire the plasma torpedo. You know you have it. Somebody's waiting for it. I have a lot of power I can shovel into this thing. You're not going to stop me from doing... Oh, no, it's not ready. Okay. So, you have no shields, 131 damage, and I think this is going to kill you. Yep. That's how that works. And now we'll slow down. Maximize the speed time once again as we trundle on over to this one. The reason I'm not dragging him over... One, I forgot to do it early on and I really needed to, is he doesn't have weapons that are going to cut through. Yeah, he's got a decent number of phaser X's, but he's going to stick at range to blink away with them. He'll never cut through the reinforcement. And his missiles, well, Stardocks have a ridiculous number of tractor beams, so he will never get through that either. So why bother? Alright, the forward shield is once again back at full power. Or not the forward shield, but the Mauler is back at full power. So we can increase the speed and cruise on in there. I anticipate a plasma torpedo launched at any moment. Like that. Luckily they're not Romulans, otherwise they would launch that and then cloak, and that would be a nightmare. Just dealing with a cloaked Romulan. 120 damage, all the weapons open fire. Oh yeah, you can beam a mine on me, but I don't really care. Last Stardock, again, we gotta cut down the shield reinforcement. That's the problem with Maulers. Because the Mauler isn't an energy system in its own right over here, so I can't just say prioritize the Mauler over shields. And I don't have, like, fine control over how high this goes. It tells me exactly how much energy I've got in shield reinforcement, but I can't just like select, I want this much energy in shield reinforcement. That would be really helpful for ships like Maulers. But hey, we work with the limitations we have. Forward shields to maximum value. He did fire his plasma torpedo already, so let's kick up the maximum speed, because if we can just get on top of him and hit him, yeah, he'll have wild weasels, he'll have tractor beams, he's not going to be affected by this. He also has, you know, the D-type plasma torpedo for all your needs. Alright, give me within range. Mauler, now. There we go. Cutting through all the bull as we take care of things properly. Giant space battering ram. Or ping pong balls. Come up with your own excuses on how that looks. Alright, 450 prestige for our reward. We're almost up to 6,000. That's actually really nice. Hi, shipyard. I'm almost at 6,000. Do you have anything cool for me? Well, they've got the NAX. I'll take a look at that in just a second if I don't see an XCA. No, we've got no, it's an XCF. The XCF gets rid of the ESG lances, which is one of the reasons why I want an XCA. So the NAX is a question mark. I'm going to call it a new auxiliary X-type cruiser, just because, and because its armament is pretty crap, actually. It's only got 2 disruptors, 2 ESG, or 4 disruptors, 2 ESGs, and 11 phaser X's. Yeah, that's a lot of phasers, but as we kind of discussed very, very briefly in one of the earlier missions, just having a lot of phasers is generally not enough. So, yeah, there's really not a lot. What, do they have like a full-on battleship that I can be looking for? Cave Lion battleships, Leader Cave Lion battleship, unless you got a Mauler, I'm really not interested, although... So we want a DBB if we really want to go just to the maximum of things. What's the difference between the two? Oh, it has Gatling phasers. It's a more advanced vessel. I gotcha. But it was made 20 years earlier. So the BBX refit... Oh, 12 phaser 1's not 12 phaser X's. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm just looking to see if we have any fun Maulers on here, and I'm just not seeing it. Got a lot of dreadnoughts. Yeah, so the Single-Tooth Lions is probably the only Mauler dreadnought that we're going to get, unfortunately. Which, it'd be nice if we could actually get a battleship. I mean, if we had a battleship if it had, like, dual cannons. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, anyway, that's actually going to do it for today's episode. Sieging the planet even more, we have dragged its defense down to 33. It is vulnerable, soon to be taken to be ours, which will then allow us to really be aggressive, taking on the rest of the Empire. Anyway, I've been Derek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I list one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.